Hello and welcome to the Outpost Frequencies, brought to you by thelastmovieoutpost.com for all of your movie news, reviews, and everything cool about films. I'm your host this evening, not George Lucas, and with me is a full house of... Who should we go with first? Me again? No. Eggy.
Howdy.
And we got Sean.
I'm here this time.
If Sean does die during the thing, he's promised I can have all his stuff.
How's that COVID coming there, Sean? Sounds like you're building up a nice culture there.
Oi, me Chinese now.
Don't do the eyes, all right?
I had to fight really hard not to do that.
And Yoda.
Well, it's good to be back.
So, yeah, it's good to have a full house. We decided to call ourselves not the boys, because obviously that's taken. So we're going to call ourselves the girls.
Sorry.
How about the old
didn't assume my gender, George.
I've got a great idea for the new name then. Let's call it The View. And we all give our view on things. What do you guys think?
Well, we are deranged and we are old, so we got two of the three. It says gender as a construct.
Boobs as well.
George kind of looks like Whoopi, and Eggy could pass for an old Bette Midler, or not Bette Midler, Joy Behar.
Yeah. Well, she actually looks like my mum, so that makes sense.
Why do I look like Whoopi Goldberg?
Because you're both black, you stupid. Obviously. Do I have to bring color into this?
It's your favorite subject.
Take your sunglasses off, Sean. Righto. So, yes, welcome everybody to the Outpost Frequencies. It's nice to have a full crew back. Well, I say that. It depends how the show goes. I may not say that by the end of it. But first of all, we are going to talk about not all of the movie news, but we are going to talk about one piece of news in particular that constantly comes up. We've been mentioning Alec Baldwin, but that seems to have died down now and gone boring.
Oh, wait. Alec Baldwin is going to did interview world's greatest comedic film director and noted alleged pedophile Woody
Allen.
Woody Allen,
yeah. I wonder how that conversation went.
I don't know, but we had
didn't accidentally shoot him, so I guess that was a plus.
I just feel like we had them both together. It's such a missed opportunity. Just bang, bang, you know.
But yeah, no. Replacing Alec in our ever-expanding news is the wonderful, the amazing, the wealth of news of Ezra Miller.
The gift that keeps on giving.
What a guy,
man! Love Ezra.
So we were basically saying earlier that the way things are going with Ezra Miller, we're trying to sort of take bets on what is going to happen. So let's have some predictions here. How do you think the whole Ezra situation will? Where will it be in a year's time? Do you think?
White Bronco going down the road in police chase, ending in.
It's been done.
Well, he's not very original, Yoda. Anyway.
That's true.
Yeah,
I think he'll get monkeypox.
Monkey. Ezra,
From a
change the name to Ezra Pox because it'll be a new virulent strain.
Yeah. I think he's going to go down in a blaze of glory.
Like guns and
blades and ammo and that in his ranch. So, yeah, I don't know.
David Koresh style. He does cultivate the kids, grooming them, so it's like David Koresh for sure.
Allegedly,
I mean.
I think
today's word of the day is allegedly.
Allegedly, I think he gets. I think he has a standoff or something in some seedy house somewhere with this Indian girl, and then he gets taken away, and then 6 months later he gets Epsteined.
No, see, I think you're reading this all wrong. With the way things go in Hollywood, I think in 6 months' time, like I say, things will have calmed down and he will be the head of Warner Brothers.
Disney.
Yeah. I would not take...
it's 50-50.
No, in reality, I expect some sort of like big blow up and arrest and then gets off and then stint in rehab and then he goes away for a few years and probably, I don't know.
I wonder who will play him in his own movie.
Yeah, who would play Ezra Miller?
in the
Because he's
Ezra Miller
not
story.
binary, so could you get a man to play it or a girl?
No, you guys. He's got to
Page.
start. The Ezra
Elliot
Miller
Page.
story is at the end. When his big comeback role is the Roman Polanski story.
Allegedly.
where he wants to method act the rape.
That's
scene.
right. Yeah. You just open up his his trailer and just like little children just start falling out. Oh shit! Put these back. Put these back. Put these back.
like a clown car, but full of kids.
Yeah, they're just falling out. With big red asses. Like help, help, help.
Well, that got dark.
That's what are we like 5 minutes in? Yeah, we've lost about 3 viewers as well. So well done, everyone. Well done.
Well, hello to
maybe next time-
main army and Matic anyway.
Yeah.
Let's try and keep it upbeat. Try and keep it light-hearted. Everything all right?
We weren't. I'm sorry.
Right.
Seemed kind of normal for us.
So yeah, I mean, like I say, Ezra Miller. Who knows where that's going to end up? It's just interesting to watch. Well, I say interesting to watch this thing unfold. It is unfortunate, obviously, because the man is obviously having a complete and utter meltdown.
It's beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. It's like watching a car crash.
It is.
Do you know what I like the most?
What's
I
that?
like the fact that when on the articles they've interviewed people and they're talking about what happened, and they always refer to him as a they or a them. I actually take full enjoyment out of going through and taking out all the thems, theys, and theirs and changing to him, he, and his.
God, you're
really
such a big.
spiteful doing it.
He types he.
You are Mal.
If you ever read this, Ezra Miller, you're a bloke.
I know. I was reading that last article you did, and every time I saw he, I was like, oh, that he. I've never seen such a more bigoted typeface.
I got a different take on it. As a member of the male gender or sex, I'm quite fine with letting him not be.
Not be part of
Don't
Don't need him in the. I
That's
don't.
great.
Yeah, we don't need him in the group in the organization. I think we could revoke his membership. I'm fine with that.
Come on, Ezra, hand in your penis. Come on.
Yeah.
That's what everybody else is doing in America.
But he is he gay?
Oh, you
or
already
does
lost
he-
your balls? Okay, well, we'll just take the penis.
Is Ezra gay, or does he just say he's gender fluid, but he's still a straight man?
He's
in reality?
psychotic. It's all
No,
nonsense.
he's just
psychotic.
I think all the people he's grooming are female, so I presume that puts him down as sort of straight, allegedly.
Allegedly straight. Allegedly
Yeah.
straight or allegedly grooming?
Allegedly anything.
Let's just all say allegedly in together, in sync, and then that just covers us all for everything, all right?
Matic is saying I'm out of sync. Am I out of sync?
You seem fine to
Oh,
me.
you're right here.
Well, on the actual stream, yeah, I think you are. I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
Oh, great. So that means the live stream is going to be over in.
Isn't it about time for Matt Inc. to leave us to go watch The Last Man on Earth again?
He's just put that.
Don't encourage him yet. At least give us 5 minutes. Right, so let's talk about then the movies of 2022. We are in July already. My goodness me. It's what a year it's been already. So, I mean, I've caught up a list of things that have come out. Because funny enough, some of them I have seen and I've completely and utterly forgotten about. Like, for example, the 355, which you think I'd remember because it's got not George Lucas in it, Jessica Chastain. But I mean, I saw that, but I could not tell you a thing about it. Women secret agents?
It's just like Jessica Chastain, completely nothing about her makes an impact and mediocre.
George.
I hate to be the one that tells you this, but it's better you hear it from me than some stranger out in the street.
She's not aging well, George.
There are times, George, I think, ooh, dream big. Jessica Chastain, okay. Don't set your sights too high there, all right?
It might happen, all right? It might happen. Okay, she might drop her standards by a lot.
Another 5 years and she probably will be on the market for you, believe me.
Yeah.
I'll take what I can get. But no, what? Right, but the 35 and the 355. Did anybody else see it? Does anybody else remember anything about it?
Nope, didn't watch it.
Never even heard of it.
So, big thumbs up for the first film of the year.
No guarantees, Mad Ink. It will continue, but I'll do my best. Okay, I got the list up here. Bringing up the list.
Okay, so they had Hotel Transylvania, which I've never. That was the sequel, which I've never seen. I've never seen the first one. So
I think it's like the fourth one now.
Yeah, there's like 5 of them by now, I think.
Then, well, speaking of sequels, Scream 5.
Didn't see it.
No.
I genuinely like the first one. I love the way.
Yeah, I like the first 3 of them.
Oh no! See, to me, the first one was great, and they have gone downhill. And 5 was in line with how crappy the rest of them were.
I don't know, man. I think the first 3 were equal, more or less.
5 was fine, but you already saw it with the first one. It was a absolute beat for beat same one. It was The Force Awakens.
Cecil thought pretty highly of it, if I recall. I mean, he didn't.
Cecil's sometimes a little suspect.
Yeah, he's a little shaky. But in that one,
we all get things wrong.
Yeah, not me and Jesus though. So, Dinner in America, that's one we all liked, and it come out. It's actually was made earlier, but was released
this year. That was very good. That was kind of the comedy that you'd been waiting to see for a long time, that really didn't care about the politics and everything else. It was just, it was great. No, Aggie, you liked it, didn't you?
Oh, I forgot all about it, mate. I've not seen it. Sean texted earlier. He went American Dinner's not on your list. I was like, I forgot all about that one.
I thought
I'm sorry.
Aggie made a full list of everything he'd seen, and I was just trying to. No, I'll come back to that. I was just trying to think of a decent porno version of something, but my brain wasn't quick enough. Jurassic Poke. That's the only thing I came up with.
Forest Hump.
Yeah, there we go. Shaving Ryan's privates.
There you
go. Anyway, my Dinner in America was good.
It is. It's great. That's a great movie.
It is very good. It's definitely worth watching.
It's in my whatever my list will be at the end of the year. It will be in my top 5 at least.
Wow.
You just gotta. For me, you had to stick with it. You know, and once it clicked for me, then I really fell in love with the movie. But at the beginning, I had a tough time with it just because the dude was so unlikable.
Characters. Yeah, I mean, they really were, but it worked out so brilliantly well.
Yeah,
it was great. And then another sequel, because obviously there's not much on here that's going to be original IPs. Well, that 3355 was, but Jackass Forever, Johnny Knoxville in a wheelchair.
I watched it and it was okay. I didn't like the new faces in it much. I don't know.
No, nobody gave a shit.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
I didn't miss Bam Margera because I always thought Bam always seemed like the guy who just took everything too far all the time.
It's very mean-spirited. Yeah, he really wanted to hurt people. Yeah.
But I mean, Jackass Forever was all right, and I did.
I just had a problem with it because it's like, like when you see 20-somethings, 30-somethings doing it, it's like it's one thing. When you see guys that are pushing 60, it's like, oh Jesus, these guys are gonna die. There was one they did. Knoxville did the bull thing again, I think. And they had to take him away. Like he just laid there, just like a rag doll, just dead. I was like, oh my god. I
kind of like that though. Like when they get hurt, then you see like them get up creaking, like we popping it. I like that. The old guy getting hurt makes it funnier. It's like, oh.
Seeing Johnny Knoxville getting up from the bull attack is how I get out of a chair.
He didn't get up.
No, I know, but
that's what he thinks. His wife has to come and help him.
I like how you could tell what they filmed pre-COVID and post-COVID because Knoxville's hair went white somewhere in the middle of that.
Another remake that came out, which I saw and reviewed and didn't like, was Death on the Nile by Kenneth Branagh.
Didn't watch it.
I couldn't get through the Orient Express, so I never bothered with Death on the Nile because the Orient Express was just it's just numbing.
And it was just it was. Death on the Nile was just there was just nothing to it. There was just it's a film that you watched and just afterwards it was just there was nothing to talk about afterwards. It was dull, and it's a story which is incredibly well known as well. I mean, they've had TV versions of it and a couple of movie versions as well. It was a waste of time. There's too much CG in it as well.
Do you think I'm not that familiar with her stuff, Agatha Christie? I know she's a, well-beloved author and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, was it really close to the novels? Because I mean, I remember trying to watch some of this when I was a kid. I never really thought they were that great. So I don't know if it's the source material or if it's Rano's direction or both. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I've never read the book because I can't read.
I don't consume any media created by.
No, I'm talking about previous adaptations. You think I actually read that shit?
No, the thing is,
I've never read it.
I've always found Agatha Christie is literally a murder happens and then there's filler for like an hour and a half and then they tell you who did it. And that's all about Agatha Christie's
actually,
novels.
A murder happens. They have the whole mystery, and then everybody did it.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay,
I've never been a fan of her.
What a twist.
Thing is, there's always something Agatha Christie on over in the UK for like 30 odd years. I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
So the only chance I was going to see Death on the Nile is if two reasons: if Gal Gadot went skinny dipping and Armie Hammer decided to eat someone. Other than that,
I would have watched that. I would have watched it. If Armie Hammer killed and eat Gal Gadot, oh man, I'd love to see that.
Or he wants to eat Gal Gadot.
Eggy, let's make a pitch about this being a cannibal horror movie instead. Let's redo it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Now I'd watch that shit.
Meal on the Nile.
Yeah.
After that was again one of those films that just sort of came up and you instantly forgot about. Uncharted, which should have been a huge success because of the game, but just nothing.
Dude, video game movies are never this big giant. You should know that by now. We're going into what, over 20 years of them trying to make video game movies a thing, and they never really quite.
Well, the way I figured it, if I'm going to watch a movie that I'm going to instantly forget, I'll just save myself the time and not know it in the first place.
Just pretend that you watched something and forgot about it.
Like, I end up in the same place when it's all said and done. So why waste the 2 hours?
Yeah.
There's literally a paragraph on the IMDb. Just read that.
The fact that Sonic the Hedgehog is the most successful adaptation says everything you need to know about that.
It's actually legitimately decent for what it is.
Really?
The first one is good.
Second one isn't bad either. Second one's as good as the first. It feels like a throwback to like 90s kind of family type movies that were halfway decent. We're not talking anything deep or and I don't know that I would revisit them, but legitimately they're fine. They got good plot points. They make sense. They have character arcs. They have everything you asked for in an actual movie. It's kind of nice. Yeah. I would not have thought that of all the video game adaptations, the one that would finally crack that nut would be Sonic the friggin' Hedgehog.
See, for me,
2 words: Jim Carrey. I'm out.
Yeah, same here.
He's legitimately good in it. He's an asshole. I agree, but art from artistry.
The only video game I saw conversion movie that I saw I thought was half decent was the original, the first Silent Hill. Apart from that, they've all been.
I never play any of these video games, so to me, I don't have any interest in seeing them, even from the point of view.
Well, most of us were outside, inside playing video games. Sean was out shooting deer and.
I was out touching grass and getting girls, and not in dungeons. I know that part was not. Before I even said it, I was like, nobody's going to buy that. Nobody's going to buy that. I was outside, pining for being like a normal person that could get girls.
I imagine, Sean, when you say you're outside getting girls, that doesn't include sitting in bushes watching them through binoculars, all right?
No. How else are you
sneaking up on them with a?
You know what? Let me tell you. Let's take a complete tangent. Let me tell you guys a very quick story about that. When I was maybe a year or two out of high school, and one of my friends from high school wanted to ask his girlfriend to marry him, and it was at a park, and there's this big, beautiful gazebo, and he's like, I want you to take the camcorder, the old VCR cam, and film it. I'll be there at 8, and I want you to get it on film. I said, okay. So I went there a little early with my other friend or two, and there was an old train caboose they had there in the park for some reason from the 1800s. I crawl under this thing to get a good shot, and there's all these kids and their parents playing, and I'm trying to line it up, and here comes this guy madder than hell at me. He thought I was filming his kids for later wank off material. And this guy was ready to beat my ass. And I was trying to convince him, what I was doing. Finally, my friend walked back. He's like, no, man, he's not some perv. So,
well, he is, but not for what you think.
I'm not Ezra Miller. But anyway, so my friend finally comes and they get ready to do it. Now, he was a very hardcore Christian. His parents are even more so. And as he kneels down, a kid walks right by the camera. It refocuses on that kid. It goes blurry, and I go, fuck. Finally, I get it focused, and I forget that I even said that. Later that night, he goes home, and he's telling everybody, their family, and they all sit down in front of their super Christian, and they're watching this, and they see it blurry, and Sean go, fuck.
What a beautiful, magical moment! I'm so glad you thought of it for me.
Now, George, I'm thinking moments in our childhood. You see, you, me, and Eggy, and we're playing the deer hunter game, and then they get to Sean. He's actually murdering deer,
Yeah. I killed my first deer when I was 12. That's a fact.
Yep.
Nice.
I got dysentery on the Oregon Trail. Does that count?
Yeah, that counts. I think.
Okay, all right. Many, many times, in fact.
Did you eat it, Sean?
I did, yeah.
Oh, nice.
I don't really like it much, to be honest with you, though.
I've never been a fan of venison.
Just murder a poor animal.
Well, I give it away to poor people, just because Dude, I just like to kill stuff. I'm not into I'm natural meat. Blah, blah, blah.
At least say animals, don't say stuff. That just sounds bad.
Oh, yeah.
Target. God, if God did not want me to shoot animals, he would not have invented rifles.
What's your weapon of choice? A Chevrolet?
No, rifle. I don't believe in bow hunting. It's too cruel.
What about a Ford? Maybe a Dodge pickup?
No.
Little Tennessee pizza.
I like the Mercedes with the badge on the front because it gives like a little target.
That's right.
You can aim it with that.
You mean a sight, is what you're trying to say.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah.
I got us off track. I apologize. So does Licorice Pizza count since it come out right at the end of last year and probably didn't hit theaters really until...
That is true. Yeah, like I say, Licorice Pizza was one that I think if any of us had seen it pre 2001, it probably would have made the top 5 list, wouldn't it? Because it was pretty spectacular.
Mm. It would probably be number. I would put it as number. If we had to make a top 10 list right now, it would be number 2 on my list right now.
Well, I'm going to add it to my list.
Dashcam still number 1 for me this year.
Plate.
I still love Dashcam.
No, that was from last year, though. You can't have it for this year as well. My favourite is still Gone with the Wind.
No, I got the screener last year. It was theatrically released this year. You know that. In June.
Yeah,
I watched it.
We did an interview with the star, remember?
No, I know.
Which you can find on lastmovieoutpost or YouTube.com.
On this YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Everybody, and your legal technicalities. Foiled again.
It's on www.youtube.
HTTP. Is it S? No, it's not the S. Is it?
Eggy, you watched Dashcam, and you're the only one so far that we haven't talked on a live stream about it. Did you like it?
I did, and I don't like films like that, but I liked it. And I thought she was. Is it Annie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Annie.
I thought she was brilliant. I'd like to go and have a drink with her if I'm honest. She looks like good fun.
Yeah, a fellow man of culture, unlike a certain normie that don't have good.
The funniest thing about that interview is that Annie does this live rap on her show, and she just makes up words and everything else. And it was only after we did the interview that was kind of rushed and everything else. I said to Sean, "Oh man, we should have asked Annie to make up a rap about us." And the response I got was, "I hate you for not thinking about that, and I'll never forgive you."
I won't. I'll never.
You're right. Did you watch?
It would have been so.
All the credits at the end.
Mm-hmm.
She done the rap with the credits all people.
Yeah, I know.
I thought that was so clever.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I never saw an ending credit that I actually wanted that I sat through because it was fun.
I look forward to seeing it on AFI's top 100 list right after Citizen Kane.
It was a lot of fun. Now, even though you didn't like the movie, you admit that ending credit.
Yeah,
freestyle-
no, she's the best part of the movie, absolutely, bar none. But yeah, I just the shaky cam thing just went too far for me. The found footage thing went too far. It's just I can't.
45 minutes of laying on the ground.
Yeah,
in the
I
grass.
don't need that crap.
According to you, anyway.
Yep, I think I'm absolutely correct, and I will stand by it. Please don't watch the movie.
3 people say that you're wrong, and that's, my friend, a democracy.
Well, no, that's 3 people that are wrong, telling the one that's right they're wrong.
Like,
you know,
like
so you
Yoda
are all
respects our
leftists,
opinions.
is what you are.
Anyway, the next one on there, because I think Eggie's going to have a little wee of excitement for the next one, was The Batman.
Yes, gets better every time I watch it.
Oh man, I
bored
sat
the
through it
hell out of
once
me.
at the cinema.
Really?
Yeah,
Really? Because I tried to watch it, and it bored me so bad that I was like, yeah, man. And I really tried. I really did want. I wanted to like it because everything about the ambiance of it. I was like, okay, this I might like this one. And then I was like, you know,
I remember the last hour. I kept looking. I saw it in the cinema, and I was just kept looking at my watch, thinking, "Oh, come on, this is dragging out now."
I stand by it. 2.5 hours of the best Batman movie ever. Unfortunately, it's 3 hours long.
I admit there's a 20-30 minute part
that ending
3/4 of the way
shits
through
the bed. It shits the bed.
I liked it.
Oh, absolutely, it shits the bed. When did Batman become Moses, leading people out of with a torch? I mean, it's just ridiculous, that ending.
I gotta say that right. I do like the actor. I'm not. Madlick was talking about him, but I do like. I think he's a good actor. I don't have.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
He was not. He was not the problem or anything.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just the plot just got out of control at the end.
Yeah, I know, Aggie, you've tried to get me to watch it again. Now it's on streaming and stuff, but I honestly I can't see. I don't think I'd enjoy it a second time. I will eventually, but just honestly didn't do anything for me.
I can't bring myself to watch it again.
Have we all seen The Northman?
It's on my list.
No, that's on my list.
That's on my end of the year best list too.
We'll get to
I will watch it.
Another one that came out, which was quite interesting, I actually thought, was the animation Turning Red, about the girl who turns into a giant red panda when she's excited. I actually thought this was quite good. I thought it was quite well told. It was based on some old Chinese proverb or something or other. And like I say, I thought the way they dealt with it, because obviously red panda means period.
Obviously,
there was no hiding that. But I thought it was actually quite well handled and quite a decent story. I quite liked it.
George, have you earned your red wings yet?
Well, no, not since last week. No.
This was.
You only have to earn them once, mate.
I mean, a guy that loves a movie about a period makes me think like, oh yeah, here's another fellow sophisticate.
It's not about a period. It's not just a girl sat there going, "Oh, my room" for like an hour and a half. You know, it's actually a decent story.
That's how
here's a quick joke.
Hey-o.
Or I was going to say another quick joke is, and why do women get periods? Because they deserve them.
Why does it hurt? Why is it painful for women to give birth? Because they deserve it.
Wow.
Moving on.
Disavow everybody on this stream, and even myself.
Moving swiftly on. And speaking of earning red wings, not that this happened in it because it was dull as dishwater, but Deep Water with Ben Affleck and Anna de Martis.
You made a movie
again.
What was that?
Yeah, well, it was like billed as an erotic thriller, and it just literally had her boobs in there for like 20 seconds, and that was pretty much it.
I think I watched like 5 minutes of it. When I'm out.
I did manage to get through it somehow, but it was kind of interesting, but it's just not ever the kind of film I'd go back and watch again. It made me laugh that Adrian Lyne, the director, has obviously got some deep mental issues and scars that he's dealing with, because he's done what do you call it? Oh, the Michael Douglas. Come on, brain. Michael Douglas, close. Fatal Attraction.
Fatal Attraction.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
he did that, and it's obviously he's dealing with some stuff and putting it out in film form. You know,
You're like,
my
I
parents
think you need to talk
had
about
an
Bud.
affair. Yeah, did
Maddie's
you have
asking
a rabbit?
who.
Did you have a rabbit when you were a child as well? Yeah, and it ended up in a pot. You know, stuff.
Watership Down.
yeah,
There's a movie that makes you want a pet rabbit right there.
Yeah. I had no idea they could be
Do
so
they even?
vicious.
I don't know any millennial or Zoomer that has ever seen or heard of Watership Down.
Well, they remade it on Netflix. I haven't
did
watched it.
I think no, it was made by the BBC. I think it's
The
obviously Latin
original
11.
was.
No.
original.
The remake with
Oh,
John
the remake
Boyega
was too,
was
okay.
made by was done by the BBC.
I know the original was like in the mid 70s. It's very British. In fact, I think
Yeah.
Ian
You
Holm is
mean
in it.
miserable, makes you depressed, all the rabbits have got bad teeth.
Yep.
I think I'm not sure if it was the Britishness or just the actual plot of that particular movie. It could have gone.
That movie is a hell of a watch when you're like 8 years old.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
pretty scarred.
Yeah. And you're thinking like, oh, and you're used to like Disney shit,
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I
This
well,
is an
you know
animation,
what?
it'll be great.
Let me rephrase that because I still maintain the scariest damn thing I ever saw was Pinocchio when the transformation into the where the boys start turning into the donkey.
Yeah.
that's rough
Scary
shit.
as shit when you're a kid.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll do that in the new one because there's a new Pinocchio. We'll get onto that later, but there's a new Pinocchio coming out. So
Yeah,
I can't see him
they
doing
always
it.
talk about the kids in the 50s were much more clean cut and well behaved and all that kind of stuff. And you got to wonder, they all saw Pinocchio when they were kids in the late 40s.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Do you want to turn into a donkey? No,
No, I'm good.
I'll be good. I'll turn in my room.
Hey, those Disney movies from back then have got sections in them that are scary as shit
Oh,
for a
yeah.
kid.
Hell, even Snow White. Pretty rough
Yeah.
stuff in there.
Does
in
anyone
March-
miss 2D animation?
Very
Yes.
much.
Yeah.
That's
I'll tell
why
you what, I watched a bit of Lilo and Stitch last night because
Yeah.
I went and saw Elvis, and there's a bit of an Elvis theme in Lilo and Stitch. And I was like, do you know what? It's such a shame we don't get cartoons like this anymore.
we do. They just come from Japan and they're superior anyway.
Yeah,
Anime,
but I
yeah.
just meant the whole Disney. I just missed the whole
Guys,
Disney 2D
guys.
animation.
Just for a second, let next week we should talk about anime films, our favorite anime films. or
Yeah.
something. I love anime
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
My favourite's Aladdin. Oh, it's great. That's my favourite anime. Jasmine was hotter than the real life Jasmine. Anyway, right. So in March came out X, which was the new one from A24, which I was kind of looking forward to, but it was the one basically about the two old people who have sex. That's the kind of thing I remember from that.
Oh,
And the rest of
Nobody
it
wants to see that.
it was again kind of instantly forgettable. Apart from who was in it? Not me. The Brittany Snow did get naked in it, so that was a plus. But it's not strong enough to, carry a whole film through. Alice, which I haven't even heard of, A Slave in the South. Ugh, boring. The Outfit. No.
Yeah,
What's
I
the
started-
outfit?
I started to watch that the other day and then got looking into it a little bit more and was like, oh yeah, I'm glad I didn't watch that.
An expert cutter must outwit a dangerous group of monsters in order to survive a fateful
that-
night.
That's the geezer
Oh.
from the BFG.
Yeah, Mark Rylance. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks
I
rubbish.
I have looked. I didn't even bother. Uma came out, which was the Korean or Sandra Oh film, which was kind of all right, but
Sandra Oh is an instant deal killer for me, seeing her in the title. The only
Yeah.
thing she was good in that I remember ever seeing her in was Sideways from back in, 02 or whatever. That's a good movie. That's a legit good movie.
Yeah, it is. I like that one.
Then came out Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum in Lost City, which I got to admit I actually kind of enjoyed. It was just a fun romantic romp of a movie. It was all right.
That's
Who's that? Is that Sandra Bullock?
Yeah.
So you liked that, but you didn't like the Batman.
Yeah.
She-
Well, no.
she's-
Over the two, I'd watch that because that
Fuck
was only 90 minutes long, as opposed to 17 million hours of the Batman. Brooding.
What did you guys think of her in that Bird Box from a few years ago, that Netflix movie? Did you guys? It was.
Right.
I never
liked it.
bothered to watch it. I kept
Oh,
hearing
it was
about it.
like
I heard
DVD
enough
disc.
about it. I was like, okay.
Right up until about the halfway point. It's a great high concept movie, and then it turns to dog shit.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
All right. Well, speaking of crap movies, that also came out in April was, funny enough, it says here release date is April 1st, which is ironic. Morbius.
It's morbid time.
I don't think but I didn't watch it.
Now, are you
Oh.
now? Also, George, don't forget, it not only got released April 1st, but then it got released in early May
yeah.
to great
Yeah.
acclaim
Because
and
it
tons
was
of
so
box
popular.
office.
The people demanded it. You got to give the people what they want.
Yep.
I think Jared Leto can be a great actor sometimes, man.
I,
But
do you know what?
sometimes-
I know people rag on him, but I think he's pretty solid as an actor and stuff.
He's a nut bar in real life, but his acting skills are he's legit.
Madding saying that Morbius wasn't that bad. It's 6 out of 10. No, I can't agree with that. I watched it expecting it to be truly terrible and be entertaining because of that, but it wasn't as bad as what I thought.
It was no Sallow or anything of that level.
No, it was just, funny enough that you say about Jared Leto, somebody else who's always good in acting but doesn't generally get decent roles is Matt Smith, because Matt Smith was good in it.
Who?
And again, Matt Smith, the British guy, he played Doctor Who a few years back.
Doctor Who.
Yeah, he is a great actor, but he's been getting some crappy roles.
I thought Dr. Who
Yeah.
was human.
I will admit, Smith seemed to be really enjoying himself in that movie because nobody
He's getting
else
a
was.
paycheck. He's getting a paycheck. It's the same funny
Oh,
enough.
he
I
was
watched
definitely
Jaws.
having fun with it, and I'm glad he was because certainly the audience wasn't.
I watched Jaws: The Revenge this week because I'd never seen it before, and my favourite quote was from Michael Caine, who said, "I've never seen the movie. I heard it was terrible, but I've seen the house it bought me."
Yeah.
Sonic 2. No, Yoda, you said you quite like Sonic 2.
I mean, it's not one I'd probably revisit or anything, but as far as a solid kids movie and video game adaptation, it's
I
good.
couldn't finish it. I put it on streaming and I couldn't finish it. It was running just under 2 hours, just over 2 hours, and I lost it when they were doing the Russian dance bit near the beginning.
Yeah, that's just. I mean, it's not perfect or anything. I'm just saying, as far as being a decent movie with a decent plot, some character arcs, and all that kind of stuff that we used to get in spades all the time. Like the basics.
Yeah.
I mean, probably if I had seen this 15, 20 years ago, I would have said, But, now
It actually
everything
stands
is
out from
so
the crap.
terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't do anything, even the basics they can't get right. So when you see something that's like reasonably solid, you go, oh, it was pretty, it stands out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair enough. Michael Bay was back with Ambulance. Everybody see this?
No.
Two
I
Robert
mean,
Steele
I
Ambulance.
started it, but it bored me and I quit it.
Yeah.
Again, it was kind of all right. I did love the fact at the end that it was completely the white people are bad and good people and black people save the day.
That is a surprise.
That was like there wasn't even anything obvious, like sort of like subtly hinted at that. It was just blatantly obvious.
That old chestnut.
And then in April came out Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Still my top one of the year.
What is?
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, it's all right.
Oh, man,
I'm
see,
with
I
Sean
loved
on
it.
that. It's all right.
I want to see it again, and I will sit through it again. But I thoroughly loved it. I thought it was fantastic. It was just, like you say, in a world where we live in such mediocre crap, to see something that was so well made. It was
well made. It was well made, but I don't think it was as original as you guys seem to think it was.
I mean, you could say that about so many things. It's the way they told a story and was tight. It was well put together, and I was riveted and entertained throughout the whole thing. So, I mean, what else could you ask for?
Went on
More,
Nudity.
yeah, nudity, more death, more gunfire, a rape scene, the usual,
Now, one that Yoda saw that he actually, I can't remember if you bigged it up or not, but I watched it because you said about it, was Father Stew with Mark Wahlberg, which was a passion project of his, telling the story about a guy who was a boxer, became a priest, and got a disease, and he died in the end, didn't he? Spoilers.
Wahlberg is an absolute deal killer for anything for me. I can't stand that prick.
Yeah.
It was
I
nice
mean,
to see him playing a
love-
tough Detroit kind of guy, because usually that's not form for him.
Normally,
I
he's
liked-
a tough Boston guy.
I liked your description, or I think it was you, George. Says,
Yeah.
guy tries to get a girl, things really get out of control.
Because basically, she
Ends up a
belongs to
priest.
a local church. She belongs to a local church, so he starts going along, and he ends up becoming a priest. And it's just kind of like I say, sort of like, I only wanted to get laid, and now I'm getting baptized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I found it compelling just because it was a true story, and they showed the guy at the end, and I again, something that I liked, I enjoyed. It's not like I'm going to repeat view it like a Ghostbusters or something. You know, it's out my one time. I liked it. Good story. Moving on.
Has anybody seen the Fantastic Beasts, The
No.
Secrets of Dumbledore?
I'm insulted that you even asked.
Because I can't be bothered with them. I watched the first one. Fantastic
aren't
Beasts
you
and Where
like-
to Find Them?
Aren't you like required by law in Britain to see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
are.
well,
But I'm a lawbreaker. I'm a rebel.
But
Do your
Apparently.
do your impression of Harry Potter. Quick.
who? Me?
Well, either one of you.
Hello, I'm Harry Potter.
Oh
I
my
don't-
god, it's dead on. It's so perfect, man. Your accent was just like his.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Yeah.
Because
I should do a Cockney Harry Potter. I could do that for you.
The
Cockney
what?
Harry Potter. All you bleeding geezer, I'm going to shove this wand up your arse.
Oh, Hermione, get your tits out.
I say I can't do Harry Potter, but I could do a Hermione.
Hello.
Hey.
Because the Secrets of Dumbledore was Harry Potter and the bloody starfish, wasn't it?
I was watching that the other day. It flashed up on
What,
my,
the film?
No, it
I
flashed
think
up
I've
on my
downloaded the wrong
history.
Harry Potter. I don't remember this bit.
No,
It
it's
flashed up on my YouTube history, and I just ended up watching that little 5-minute window, and it was just, I was still laughing.
it's not a film, George. It's Eggy's screenplay, and he's getting ready to submit it to Warner Brothers.
Another one that came out in April, which was fantastic, was The Unbearable Weight of a Massive Talent.
I have not
but-
seen it yet.
I
Nick Cage
saw it.
just being Nick Cage.
I liked it. I liked the first half of it a lot. I think it kind of got like, oh, we need to wrap this thing up, and so it kind of became very standard action movie at the end with very cliched. You know, I learned my lesson. I'll be part of my family. Like stuff we've seen a million times, and I just wasn't. I loved all the Nick Cage stuff and all the stuff at the very beginning, especially his imaginary Nick Cage that he talked to sometimes.
Yeah, he's
But,
younger still.
But then it just, I don't know, it just kind of it
kind
felt
of-
like
it
it
kind of
forgot to do all that at the end, and I just was like, okay, this is all right.
Weirdly enough, it kind of felt like it got caught up in a story that kind of just didn't need to be told. The whole bit with the arms and drugs and all this kind of
Yeah.
stuff. It would have just been more fun to just watch Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage for the entire film.
Matt Inc. mentions Wally's Wonderland in the chat, and I agree. It is. I love that movie. It's a lot
That
of fun.
is great. It's
Which one was
brilliant.
that? Oh, is that the one where Nick Cage beats up
Doesn't-
animatronics?
Yeah,
He doesn't talk at all the way
doesn't
through
say a word in it. It's great.
The Bad Guys, an animated one. Several reformed, misunderstood criminals. I've seen it advertised, but nothing's. Sam Rockwell.
I actually just put it on my Plex. I was going to say, I'll give it a try just to watch something so I can have something to talk about these streams.
Well, I was going to say that with it, I mean, it's got Aquafina in it, so I mean, even if you don't see her voice is going to get on my tits. So no, with that. Then coming to Robert Eggers, The Northman. Now this is one we all can agree on, right?
I loved it.
Not seen it yet. It's on
It's
my
on-
list.
it's on my list,
I'm a
too.
busy man.
No, saying that, Eggy, I do forgive you. You've watched the Batman twice. What else have you had time for the last 6 months?
Well, he's got you on that one, hasn't he?
Oh,
I mean, The Northman was fantastic. I need to see it again before the end of the year, but I mean, again, it's going in my top 5.
yeah, that's a buy on Blu-ray for me, even.
Yeah,
you can pause it with a cock scene, Sean.
It's got some rape in it. It's got rape in it.
It's got a bit of incest as well and everything else. It's it's quite good going.
Everything I like.
One I just recently watched again for the second time, and I still didn't rate it, was Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
I did too, and actually, it got more boring the second time.
Yeah,
I was hoping maybe I would see something new in it or something like that. Like I like some of the Raimi-isms in it, but it just doesn't hold it together enough.
It's just more Marvel content. It's just more Marvel content at this point. There's no point.
Well, I mean, they did a great job with Spider-Man, but I mean, that's kind of the lone thing in the Phase 4 right now.
Yeah. Doctor Strange was. I mean, if I'm going to watch another movie with a multiverse in it, it's going to be everything everywhere all again. It's Doctor Strange 2 is fine. Yeah, that's kind of it. It's just fine. It was nothing
serviceable.
Yeah. It passed 2 hours.
I will say there's probably a little bit of a missed opportunity there. You know, you had Sam Raimi, you have the whole idea of a crazy multiverse. You just didn't capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Which was kind of, I felt that Sam Raimi was quite tethered, that he was probably trying to push the boundaries a little bit more. But
I think Raimi's at the point in his career and age to where his edgelord days is gone. That's gone. He ain't going to do that kind of stuff anymore. That's
what happened to him on Spider-Man 3, right?
Mm-hmm. In May came out, and I don't think anybody else has watched this, but I did, Firestarter, the remake.
No.
This was terrible. I
don't even like the original. It's not that good.
Yeah, I don't either. I think the original's boring as shit.
It's kind of annoying because I have Keith Thomas, the director. I have seen one of his other movies called The Vigil, I think it was, which was about a Jewish man watching over a body for the night. And it was really creepy and actually really, really well done. Whereas the Firestarter was just, it was so bad. It was so bad. And the ending was so, it kind of left it open for a sequel, but you're thinking nobody in their right mind anywhere, not even Disney, are thinking, well, yeah, we could do a sequel to this. It was bad.
The only thing I liked about the original one was George C. Scott hitting people in the face so hard that their bones went into their brains and killed them. That's the only thing I really remember from that movie.
And Martin Sheen was in it. I remember that.
Was he in it?
Yeah, he's the head of the shop.
Hey,
I tell you one that came out this year that I thought was pretty good was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Netflix sequel.
You thought it was good?
You liked that?
I thought yes, because Dean turned me around on it once he made it that it is a very anti-woke movie and all the wokies and leftists are murder. It's very entertaining. If you watch it as Leatherface is the hero that kills leftists, it's fucking great. It's amazing.
Well, that part is funny, but if as a movie, I just don't think it holds up that well.
It entertained me. That's the cardinal. If I get bored, I go by a very simple thumbs up or down principle. If I get bored, that's the biggest sin.
Does a helicopter explode? Are there tits? That's all I'm after.
Yeah.
Maddie's just got Ramon Antonio Gerard Estevez. Does anyone know what he's talking about there?
Yeah, that's
Martin
his real
Sheen.
name.
Martin Sheen.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
He's a victim.
Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Nope, nothing.
I recently found out that people did not realize when the original Chip and Dales come out that they were based on Magnum P.I. and Indiana Jones. And it was a shock to me that people did not see that immediately.
I know, it's crazy. Well, they're not even the original Chip and Dale. Chip and Dale were just like cartoon shorts from the 40s that occasionally had their little, like the Warner Brothers stuff. The Disney stuff sucked. It was Mickey Mouse, Pluto, Minnie, Donald Duck. They had all those shorts, except for Goofy and doing these weird documentaries where it's like, we're going to, get you on an exercise regiment, and here's how you do it. Then Goofy would try to do it. He'd just completely fuck everything up. And those were kind of funny, but the rest of them were just garbage. And Chip and Dale was one of those. And then they had the Disney afternoons in the 80s where they reinvented so many of their characters. You had Tailspin, you had Chip and Dale, and DuckTales, and a few others. And then I guess this new one is some sort of like Roger Rabbit, like.
Funny enough, 30 years after that popular television show ended. That's what the synopsis says.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's like one of them
30
CG,
years for a
and one of
chipmunk,
them's
they're going to be
not.
dead.
Do you guys remember a TV show in the 80s called Tales of the Gold Monkey?
Yes,
No.
I do.
I love that.
I do. I remember it. It was capitalizing on Indiana Jones at the time. They came out in 82 or 83.
It was a rip-off exploitation.
Yeah. And it only lasted one season.
Yeah, one season. It's too expensive to make.
Yeah.
They didn't continue it.
It was better
Great
than
show.
Young Indiana
Just a
Jones
US thing.
Chronicles.
It was only here, I believe. You can find it online. You should check it out. It's a lot of fun. It's set like pre-World War II in Asia, and it's very much like Raiders of the Lost Ark, but he never leaves like the jungle environment.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really archaeology, but more.
No, it's not an art. He's like a pilot,
adventure guy. Yeah,
it's just sort of that kind of.
You can find a lot of these older shows. Look on Tubi, which is free. You can find a lot of this stuff on there. It's kind of there's a treasure trove of older stuff on Tubi that you should give it a shot.
Right. Okay. How do you spell Tubi?
TUBI.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. All right, I'll have a look.
Have we finished? Back to our main subject.
We'll do whatever I goddamn want, George. I'm holding the producer's thing. I can turn your camera off in 5 seconds.
George is going to turn into a red panda in a minute.
Hey, I have started menstruating and it's not funny.
Men can have periods too. I've been told. I'm not a biologist, but I've been told that men can have periods.
Hey, I've read 2 paragraphs on Facebook and I've watched a YouTube video, so I think I'm an expert.
He posed for the pregnant man emoji. I don't know if you knew that. He was the model.
I actually looked like that emoji.
Oh man!
Speaking of that, though, funny enough, the next one that's on the list that I found here is Men, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Alex Garland, going batshit crazy. I mean, a lot of people said it was very, very woke and everything else, and I still don't believe that he would make something like that. He was just trying to tell this story. The first 2/3 of it the first 2 acts are pretty creepy, but then the last third is just batshit crazy. It's absolute. I mean, even and if you follow this channel and you know that me and Sean talk about extreme cinema and stuff, even I was sat there thinking, what the hell am I watching?
I'm intrigued now.
It's worth watching. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I like to say the wokeness and everything else didn't come across to me, but the end of it is something to behold.
I didn't read your review because I didn't want to spoil it, and then someone in the comment section mentioned a certain scene. I went, "That's it, fuck it, I ain't watching that."
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it now. You really,
Garland is starting to get into Lars von Trier territory for me. I mean, I loved Ex Machina, but he just gets weirder and weirder, you know.
Yeah.
Downton Abbey, don't need to mention, a load of crap. And then the next one, what is so far the biggest movie of the year? Top Gun Maverick.
Haven't seen it
brilliant.
yet.
Brilliant.
I still haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I will get around to watching it, and I will try and get to see it in the cinema because that's where he keeps telling me to. But
yeah, that's
from
what I'm
I've
waiting
heard,
on. I went to a seaport and found it, but to me, if you don't,
What's with who's got dogs barking?
it's
Me.
Nana?
not me this time.
You got a Terminator turning up at the door. Dogs are going lunatic.
But yeah, Top Gun Maverick apparently has been very good. Like I say, it seems to be
it's
quite popular at the
amazing.
box office.
Do you know what? It's a throwback. It's just sit back and enjoy it. It's just an absolute throwback of all of it. No messaging, no agendas. Yeah, they've got the other pilots training. There's a woman, there's a black guy, there's a Spanish guy, but it's never mentioned. They're just getting on with the job.
You know what
It's
I hate
a
about
really good film.
You know what I hate about Tom Cruise is that
Everything?
he's 60
He's so
years
fucking
old.
rich.
No, he's 60 years old, and in the time that I've been alive, he has not aged. Whereas I can
Yeah.
look like I'm 60 years old.
Well, if you sacrifice young virgins and drink their blood, that's what's going to happen, Sean. Allegedly.
Yes. He does look good.
Hey,
But
hey,
he's only got one kid, hasn't he?
Being rich really helps with the de-aging.
Kids
you know?
age you. I've got 4 kids. Look, I'm 25.
Oh my God. No, that's why he doesn't have time to watch The Northman. He's got 4. He's too busy reproducing with his wife. He's only 25. He's got 4 kids.
There you go.
Bob's Burgers, the movie. Now,
Don't
I've
care.
never seen Bob's Burgers, but I've heard it's quite funny.
Thanks.
No interest in that.
I tried to watch that show. I just could not get into it. I don't get the appeal, but you know, it's been on for like 10 years now or something. So what do I know?
Yeah. Jurassic World Domination. Now, has anybody actually seen this?
Dean watched it and said it was total dog shit.
No.
I'm hoping it's going to be as bad as what I think, because I'm quite looking forward to it. If
Dean
that's the
says
case.
it's bad, and Dean loves Jurassic Park, and he said it was dog shit.
That's a shame.
I can't bring myself to watch it. I mean, this looks like I know we have nostalgia pandering, but I mean, this just looks like they're not even trying. Like, look, we got these 3 back in it. Come see it. We need to make money. It's just like, oh God, you're not even trying to make a story, are you?
It was,
No.
yeah, look, it's it's not good. Now we're catching up now to the middle of the year, so I have got some movies which are not yet coming out, which we can talk about, but sort of teetering on the edge of here. Has anybody seen Lightyear?
No.
Nope.
To be honest, I've not even watched any of the trailers or anything. There is nothing that interests me about this at all.
The
I've
very
never
first
seen it.
The very
It's such a
first
shame.
trailer. The very first trailer was good. It was. I was like, oh, this looks interesting. It was a very well done trailer. Then the second trailer came out where they started talking, and I was like, nope, I'm out. Immediately you could tell the dumbness, you know, and I just lost all interest after that. I'd never seen a movie that had 2 trailers that completely oh, okay, kind of intriguing. And the second one just completely shut me down. Like, I'm done. I'm out. Like, wow, who? Boy, did you F up. I never seen anything that bad.
When I saw the trailer for the first trailer, I said to my wife, I said, look, it actually makes you miss having like young kids again, because I remember taking my littlers to see all the Toy Stories. And then you see the second trailer, and then you heard everything that was just going on with it, and you're like, fuck. I mean, how could they muck that up?
Well, you can't use Disney to babysit your kids anymore.
No, true.
You can't sit them down in front of there. You know, who knows what the shit they're going to be putting in their head.
Oh, you wait till next year. Have you heard about this Baymax? Is it Baymax?
I have. Yes.
Have you heard the stuff coming out right now?
I've seen the clip.
Yeah.
Doesn't it have a male menstruating in it?
It does.
Yes.
That's why
It's wearing the trans flag shirt.
Yeah.
It's so. Oh God! It's so
blatant.
cringe.
It's so blatant.
Learn from this, children. Learn from this. Okay, this is what the world is now. Okay. I'm just trying to look through now. Again, we're sort of coming up to. I know, Eggy, you've seen Elvis, haven't you? And did Yoda? Did you see it?
I did. I reviewed it.
Yeah, I was just trying to remember. Now, actually saying that, yeah, your review was not massively glowing about it, was it? But Eggy, you quite liked it.
I saw it Wednesday, and I thought it was excellent.
Ethan Van Sciver did not have anything good to say about it.
Oh man, I heard that one. Yeah, I it came up on my feed, and I was like, "Holy shit, he really hated this." And I was like, kind of in the middle. I was in the middle between Eggy and Ethan. I was like, okay, it's just there was no meat and potatoes to the movie to me. It's just a lot of a fairy tale version of Elvis's life. I thought Tom Hanks was way over the top, just chewing the scenery. But I also think the guy that played Elvis was understated, but did a fabulous job. And he looked the part. So, I mean...
Oscar material.
Really, really good.
Right?
But then you got Tom Hanks' performance, which is kind of dog shit. So, I'm And again, I didn't really get anything out of that movie, and I'm not. And of course, a lot of it just felt really contrived. I mean, I know it was the fairy tale stuff. Like, was Elvis as a kid going into a revival tent and wearing the Captain Marvel? I just don't buy any of that. And they didn't really like. Oh, Tom Parker was the big bad guy in this movie who stole all of Elvis's money. It's like, so did his fucking dad. Why aren't you more angry at the dad than you are at Tom Parker? I mean, okay,
because of copyright.
You hired a Carney Barker to be your manager, and he stole all your money. Gee, didn't see that one coming, But yeah, your own dad. That's kind of like a little bit more of a gut punch in my, Like, if you didn't see the Carney Barker that calls himself Colonel Tom Parker was going to steal all your money, that's kind of on you, Elvis.
But then without him, he wouldn't have had the career he had. So
maybe not. I don't
50-50. Know. I thought the film was excellent. It's one of those films where you watch it and that was actually a pretty good film, and then the next day you start not so much remembering bits, but you obviously the music and everything else. You're like, actually, that was a damn fine film. I'd actually watch it again tomorrow if I had the opportunity.
I might check that out now. I think I'll watch that based on.
I'm intrigued to watch it. Now,
it's just good fun. It's good fun, good music.
I tell you, a good Elvis movie is 3,000 Miles to Graceland with
that's
Kurt Russell and Kevin Costner in it, and they're Elvis impersonators that pull off on Vegas heist.
Movie.
Hey. Kevin Costner's Elvis's son in the movie.
Oh, okay, that's right.
My favorite impression of Elvis is from Michael Scott from The Office, where he goes, "Thank you a lot." He gets that wrong.
You did an impression.
Val Kilmer done a good Elvis.
Who?
Val Kilmer done a good Elvis in True Romance.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. A couple of other movies. I've just found a couple of other lists there. One that really stuck out to me, which I really enjoyed, was Mad God by Phil Tippett. I
haven't seen it.
Completely bizarre, and it's just kind of like an experimental animation, but it's kind of like a beautiful nightmare of what he's created. I really liked it. Really, really liked it.
That sounds pretty gay to me.
No, it's not. It's about. There's no kind of story to it, but it's about this thing that kind of descends basically like into hell, sort of thing. I really liked it.
Does it have any rape?
Just say yes, George.
Oh yes. There is quite a cool moment where one guy gets ripped open and they pull out everything and they find this like baby thing inside. It's just bizarre, but I thoroughly enjoy. I didn't know what to expect from it, and all the way through, I'm thinking, it really stuck with me as a movie. I'd actually probably put it in my top 5 of the year so far. I really enjoyed it.
Damn,
I really liked it. It's not everyone's cup of tea though, because it's very much like early David Lynch. If you've ever seen David Lynch,
I'm out. Yeah, I'm out.
What's it called?
Mad God.
By
Phil Tippett, the animation legend from like RoboCop and stuff, and another one that I just found there. What did everybody think of Moonfall?
No,
I like the CinemaSins take on it. That was about it. That's all I saw.
See, another one that didn't come up on the list that I found was Studio 666 with the Foo Fighters.
I heard that was.
Oh yeah.
I quite liked it. I thought it was quite a good take. It was, the band were actually sort of like half decent in it.
And then the drummer died in real life.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did he die of? Has there been an official announcement on that?
OD, too many drugs.
Really?
Shit, yeah.
They found 78 drumsticks up his ass.
Yeah. He died from the He's died from the unnamed virus of an unspecified origin.
Yeah. And 18 Pfizer needles next to him.
Matt Inc., you're correct. Nobody has actually seen Moonfall. The box office receipts do.
I watched it. It was bad as everybody thought.
I think you're lying.
No, I'm not. I didn't see it in the cinema. But another couple that are there, the Adam Project, which stars Ryan Reynolds playing Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I've not watched that yet.
I did see that.
I forgot about that.
It was all right. You know,
Do you know
it was
why?
kind of.
I'll be right back, guys.
I
It's Mark
think
Ruffalo.
this sums
can't
it up.
watch
I
anything with
remember
him.
liking it. I haven't thought about it 1 ounce since then.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Iggy?
No, just say it's Mark Ruffalo. You know, I don't mind. What's his name? Who are we talking about? The
Ryan
bloke?
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you get what you get with him, but Mark Ruffalo, I just can't. George, you've always said it. Can you separate art from real life? And
The
when it
artist,
comes
yeah.
to Mark Ruffalo, I can't. I just. It offends my eyes having him on my screen. So no, I'm not watching that.
Oh, fair enough. The other one was, which I only watched recently, was Crimes of the Future, the new Cronenberg, which was too Cronenberg. I think I did not follow the story at all, and so because I kind of lost the story a good early on, visually and acting and everything else, it's really great, but the story is just it's too complex. I wrote the review online, and I read through the synopsis like on the IMDb and Wikipedia, and it still didn't make any sense to me. So it was, unfortunately, that was not as good as what it should have been.
I wonder if Sean's seen it. That sounds like his cup of tea, though. That film.
It's too deep and complex. You know what his IQ's like.
Any rape in it? No, I'm out.
So wait, that guy didn't know that he was internal affairs? Wait, there was nothing like that in the movie. Yeah, I know. Sometimes when I get bored, I make up a movie in my head. So now due out. So for the second half of the year, we have got things like The Black Phone with Ethan Hawke. Well, yeah, you know what I mean. It's like it's out, but I've just not had a chance to see it. I really fancy it though. I've heard it's quite good.
I've heard it's quite good. Yeah.
I don't know anything about it. I haven't even seen a trailer other than I just heard, oh, it came out. People are seeing it. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever.
And then also... Oh, go on.
No, I was going to say, obviously, is he a serial killer with a mask on? I think the problem you're probably going to get is if it's a good film and it's financially successful, you'll probably get 20 sequels for the next 20 years like we do in all these horrors.
They'll probably have to change the name now from Black Phone to Phone of Undistinct Origin Colour.
Phone of Colour.
Yeah. Minions, The Rise of Gru. Again, the first of the whichever ones they were in, I can't even think of the name of it now.
Oh, Despicable Me.
Mate, that's it. Yeah, the first one was quite decent, and I've seen the second and third ones and couldn't tell you anything about them. And then actually saying that Minions, the movie, I do remember being quite amusing. There was some sort of decent jokes in there, but this now is just it's just dragging it out.
Yeah, it is.
Another one which is out, but I don't want to watch, is called The Princess. Look, I'll give you the first line. All right.
Go on in.
When a strong-willed princess refuses to wed the cross. Exactly. As soon as I read that synopsis, I was like, strong-willed female. Oh god.
Yeah. Delete.
The girl in it's quite nice, but that's. I might get around to watching it.
Well, before we go on, well, I mean, there's a lot coming out. We could talk about that. What you want to talk about? Some of the TV shows and stuff we've watched.
Oh yeah, of course. Have you got a list there? Because I haven't.
Yeah, I have. Yoda, before you do that, I just want to put. I know Stark put up the debate on the website about movies and TV shows. I'll put a comment. I've watched 8 films this year that have come out. No, I've watched more films, but I've watched 8 new films. 8 films launched in 2022, and I've gone through 18 TV shows. I think movies just aren't capturing my imagination at the moment.
Do you know what? I'm the same. I am the same. That I'm getting much more enjoyment out of the TV shows than I am from the movies at the moment.
You know what I did? I don't know why. I just had a wild hair, but I've actually been really enjoying them. There's a lot of classic movies, especially a lot of the old MGM musicals and things like that, which, I really do enjoy. They are, a lot of people say, oh, that musical stuff, but it's like, you watch Gene Kelly really huff it. That dude had some athletic. I mean, I don't know how he does.
Yeah,
Fred Astaire and Ginger, and I was expecting these movies to be corny, but they're genuinely funny and well done. And I really appreciate what they were able to do. And they've always been kind of on the back burner. It's like, you should see these movies. So I'm kind of trying to catch myself up on. I started with the musicals. I think we watched like South Pacific and I can't remember the one with Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers where he's kind of a con man gambler, but he
Top Hat. No,
I think it might have been Top Hat.
American in Paris. No, that was Gene Kelly.
It was the one where, and he meets Ginger Rogers and she's a dance instructor, and they kind of work their way up. And is he going to stay with her? He's going to go back home, marry this other woman, and there's just a lot of funny moments in it. And even though it's black and white and it's old, it's like I was kind of shocked at how clever some of the writing was. Some of these old films.
Yes,
yeah.
Because it was original.
It was original, but I mean, it still holds up. It doesn't feel cliched or stupid. And so I'm kind of working my way through some of that kind of stuff. And, I see new stuff and I just go,
Have you ever seen The Cane Mutiny with Humphrey Bogart in it?
But I'll put it on the list. I did go through a bunch of Humphrey Bogarts recently, like the Maltese Falcon and what's the one where he and the other guy, like it's a story that's been redone, but they find a treasure Sierra Madre. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Real good one. And of course, Casablanca is an all-time favorite.
Two other movies that I just suddenly sprung to mind was, again, it's not on this list that I found though. I thought RRR was fantastic. The Indian movie. It was brilliant. I absolutely loved it. It's completely sort of cheesy and over the top in places, but the story I thought was fantastic. That was 3 hours, but that engaged me the whole time. I'm probably going to put that in my top 5 of the year, I think, because I thoroughly enjoyed it. And the other one, which not as a movie but as a documentary, which I found fascinating, was What Is a Woman?
Yeah,
you and I have a good big talk about that, but
that is good.
It was if you're just looking at a documentary, is it well produced? Does it keep your attention? Does he get his point across? And are you entertained? It does that on all levels. And then when you get to the subject matter, you got to go, dude really knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the documentary, the Chernobyl tape, the lost Chernobyl tapes on that HBO premiered a week or two ago? Oh,
I haven't seen it yet.
A lot of good footage. Oh man, a lot of good footage that the Soviets took during the whole thing, but they just recently released color stuff. Yeah, interviews with people really there. Good. If you like the Chernobyl miniseries, this is a must-watch follow-up.
I tell you, there's not a more prime example of how government bureaucracy is so full of inertia that they will just melt down into the ground and die before they actually change something on a form.
Yeah.
It was so we're going to talk about some of the TV series here, and I'm just looking through them.
Let's do Stranger Things and The Boys first, because I might have to go a little early. But if you got, I've recently just finished both of those, or been up to date on The Boys.
I'm up to date on The Boys.
Is it done?
So far. No,
I think
one more episode.
Okay, I've been waiting for it to finish.
Okay.
I think I watched one episode and I was like, I'm just gonna do them all at once. And then what was the
Funny
other?
enough,
Stranger Things. I have to watch the last 2 episodes.
The Boys.
I've not done any of that yet.
As I was saying to you earlier, I have such a love-hate with that because it's so woke, but yet at the same time, it's also got some stuff that's not, and it's like just enough to piss me off, but not enough to piss me off to stop watching it. And they've turned this season the worst because they've made Homelander basically Trump. He gets up there and talks about the fake news media, and it's so obvious.
Have you ever read?
It's so weird. I miss all of that from it. I just don't see any of that at all.
Because you didn't see Trump giving live press conferences and the stuff he'd say. So
have you guys watched or read the original comic series at all?
I did when it first come out.
I mean,
my son has. He's been telling me about it.
I love Garth Ennis and his stuff.
The show really diverged from
Big time.
Like Homelander is not this complete deranged psycho with, you know, terrible things in his past like he is in the show. I mean, there might be
He's a degenerate.
He's a degenerate, but that's about it.
He's an incompetent degenerate that's kind of, you know.
See, in the show, I think he's one of the best bad guys ever.
Oh, he's a great bad guy. He's great. I love him. I mean, he's the reason to watch the boys.
Yeah.
If they killed him off, they would be like, oh, that would be the end of the show. Like they would not they wouldn't be able to like kill off Homelander and then continue it. Now the new main bad guy, Soldier Boy, I like him. I think he's great too.
Yeah,
yeah.
I like the Deep's been doing really well in this episode in this season as well.
He's just a comic relief, you know.
Yeah,
here's a spoiler, a comic book spoiler that has nothing to do with the show. Is that Black Noir in the comic book is a clone of Homelander,
right?
And his whole existence is to kill Homelander if Homelander loses control, but he goes insane all of the years he had to like be there with him and not be able to kill him, and he's actually stronger, and he's the one that raped Butcher's wife and got her pregnant, which resulted in her death. But there's video, and they think that, and Butcher thinks it's the Homelander that did it. In reality, it was his clone, or Black Noir.
Oh, right.
That's interesting.
I'm going to read them.
It's good.
What about Stranger Things then?
I finished it only because I'm a completist. I don't know, man. It's Wentworth too.
I'm gonna say I didn't see that.
Well, listen. So right now at this point, there's one lesbian. Will is obviously gay, and then So how many gay people did you even know in the 80s?
Well, to be fair, in the 80s, I wasn't
literally none.
I was going to say I called all my friends it a lot.
They've made it, and it's so over the top dumb, and like they're so dramatic. Like right in the middle of them saving the world, they all have to confess their feelings to each other. It's like nobody would do that in real life. No. Nobody would stop.
In the 80s, they didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't even have feelings in the 80s.
Exactly.
Yeah. And if you did, you get called gay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
the irony.
Bill and Ted had it perfect. It's like he finds out that Ted's alive, and they give each other a quick hug, and then they go, fag.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty much how we were. Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it, but I thought the end of the second episode, the 2.5 hour long second episode, I thought they copped out with what should have happened, which kind of, if you see it, you know what I mean. But there's a certain thing happens, and I just thought, they copped out there.
I don't remember now. What you're gonna have to spoil it because I can't remember.
I haven't seen it yet.
Basically, with Max's character, I think they copped out.
Oh yeah,
because they should have ended.
Oh, you mean the second? You mean the second episode of the second part of the season?
Yeah. Sorry.
So the series finale. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it was just they should have done something, and they didn't do it. And I just thought,
there's some big deaths this season.
Let's hope so. Right. Okay. Other TV shows. Now, Sean, I know you've been a massive fan of this, and I was going to shut him up. It's going to be the problem. But the Book of Boba Fett. Oh, just here we go. Sean,
I thought we were going to talk about. I thought we were going to talk about Reacher. I was like, yeah, I do like Reacher, the Amazon series.
Well, I mean, let's just briefly mention it. And Book of Boba Fett was crappy. The Tourist, Station 11. I'm just reading out a list now. Women of Movement. God no. The Envoys, Yellow Jackets, The Gilded Edge, The Offer. You watched The Offer, didn't you, Aggie? And said it was good.
The Offer's brilliant. If you like the Godfather movies, then you've got to watch The Offer.
Oh, what's it on? What's it on?
Television.
Over here, it's on. No, I think Paramount. I think it's on Paramount. Paramount
The
Plus.
Offer. Okay, I'm gonna check. I'll check that out.
If you see Godfather 1 and 2, it's about the whole making of the films and how the mafia were involved. And
okay.
It's really good, really well done.
Archive 81, Moon Knight was more content. Inventing Anna, no. As We See It, no. The Puppet Master, Haunting of the Ultimate. Oh, that is a documentary, boring. Wolf Like Me, Princess, Peacemaker. I didn't even bother with it.
No.
It's on my list. It's supposed to be really good, even though it's James Gunn. It's supposed to be good.
I know. So Eggy, I know you and I watched Picard, and I think we said everything we need to say about that.
Yeah, nothing to say.
There's at least 5 hours worth of video of you and me. Yellowstone, 1883. I love those.
Amazing. Do you know what? Yoda, can I just jump in? Yellowstone was so good, and 1882 was so good that I looked up the maker. And Sean, you've just done Wind River. Is that what it's called?
Taylor Sheridan. Yeah.
Yeah, Wind River. Yeah.
So since then, I've actually had a look. I've watched Hell or High Water.
Great movie.
I watched that, and that was fantastic. And I've also watched. I know it's not done by the same guy, but Bone Tomahawk.
Bone Tomahawk is an excellent movie.
Because I was like,
that's from that's from Craig S. Soller, who also wrote and directed Brawl Cell Block 99 and Dragged Across Concrete.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the best exploitation filmmaker modern that there is right now.
Right. Sorry, I didn't mean to divert. I just went.
No, you're fine. I mean,
totally addicted with Yellowstone, and it's led me onto like a whole Western thing.
Really good, and it's
amazing.
If you like Taylor Sheridan's movies, then you might really enjoy Yellowstone. Sean.
Yeah. So his movies, for anybody that don't know, Sicario 1 and 2, Wind River, Those Who Wish Me Dead, and I think he wrote that. What was that motorcycle that was on AMC about the motorcycle gang there for a while? He wrote
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah. I never watched it, but.
And then, of course, there's Kenobi.
Yellowstone. Sean, you haven't watched Yellowstone. Just watch the first 10 minutes of first episode of season 2.
Okay. My mom loves
totally addicted.
I know my mom loves it.
The only other TV programs I think are worth mentioning, just going through the list, is Severance. I thought
Reacher
was fantastic.
We didn't.
And Reacher, that was the other one. Reacher was really good, and Severance I thought was fantastic. And I hope they do a second season of Severance because that was good.
I believe they are.
The only thing I didn't like about Reacher was how unbelievably handsome the main guy was. Every time I was just like, oh, whatever, I could have a body like that if I wanted to, but I just don't want to, But no, Reacher was really good. It really held you all the way through, didn't it?
Top notch.
It was good. It was very good.
I will get on it.
Severance.
I finished watching Bosch, which I've really liked. So, including the last episode, I think it's really, really good cop drama that stands above, your typical CBS CSI nonsense.
And then again, because not that I'm moving us on, but I mean, Eggy, you saw Outer Range as well, and you really rated it, didn't you?
Outer Range was really good. I think you'd like that one as well, Sean. Outer Range is good.
Is that the sci-fi kind of one with
Josh Brolin?
Josh Brolin, yeah.
Cowboys and Aliens.
That's really good. Yeah. I tell you what, these Billy the Kid. They've done a TV show, Billy the Kid.
Oh, okay.
It's new. It's about his life story. We've just got up to the part where he's joined. I can't think of his name. Anyway, so far it's 8 episodes. You'd like that as well. That's a really good little Western show.
I mean, we know that Maddings thinks that The Man Who Fell to Earth has been brilliant because he'd rather watch that than watch ours.
No, Last Man on Earth is the one that he likes.
Last Man on Earth. I have been watching The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Oh, okay. Any
Looks
good?
like woke trash to me, is it?
Do you know, it could be... do you know, it's Kurtzman, isn't it? Fucking clown. But it could be good. They've got some really nice parts on it. But I just feel like he writes, or whoever's written it, they've done a really nice scene. You're like, oh, actually, that's quite a nice take on it. And then he feels like he's got to justify it by doing some other woke bit of shit in the next scene. And you're like... Why would you do that? I mean, there's a
hang on. This is all too normal, and this is all too good. So let's just get some woke in the next bit.
There was a scene where the alien was struggling with human emotions, and he was explaining how he can't understand why humans are like this. It's different on his world, but it was really well written and really well done. And then about half an hour later, they're driving to this mansion in England. He's like, oh, all my ancestors were, colonizers. I hate this place. And you're like. Why would it? It's just so unnecessary. It's so unnecessary.
That's a shame.
It is a shame. It's really good parts, and then they're just total shit. Kurtzman. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Is there any other? What about because you guys have been on the other Star Treks as well. I mean, again, but you've kind of I can't remember if you said you've rated or not rated them.
So Strange New Worlds is
It's up and down.
well, yeah. It's like, is it better than Discovery and Picard? Yes. Is it good? I don't know. There's been maybe one or two episodes I've liked, but some of the last ones have been kind of crap. So I'm not. I would say overall, it's not doing well.
Okay.
Oh, what about Eggy? You've been watching the new Westworld. See, I haven't, but didn't you watch it?
It's only one episode in.
Mm.
I do like that. I've liked all the Westworld so far. So this is only one.
Really?
I can't really jump.
I like season one.
I enjoyed them. Yeah.
I gave up on season 2 real quick.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
2 is what killed it for me.
Yeah, but I like slow sci-fi that I don't
get
like
the problem with it
She's
is
your slow personality.
I always get I don't get the feeling that they know where they're going with it. Is what like that's the when I watch, I'm like they don't know what they're going to do from season to season.
They use the Star Wars sequel blueprint. I don't know what the fuck we're doing.
The original movie is fantastic, you know, and obviously there's a conclusion to that. Whereas it started to expand on way too much stuff, I thought, in the series, and just like I say, I got
it's kind of entering Matrix territory now, where you're getting online stuff is merging with real life stuff. Again, I'm only one episode in, but
doesn't Christopher Nolan have a big heavy hand in this series? He's like the producer, right? I believe so.
I think it's either him or his brother, isn't it?
Yeah. It explains a lot. It seems almost like a Ridley Scott kind of concoction where AI and fake humans and his obsession with that.
Yeah, see, I like all that. So
I'm not saying I dislike it.
Seasons.
Well, I liked it a lot the first season. I thought that was brilliantly put together. And then season 2, it's like they just went off the rails and trying to keep the narrative together. And I was just like,
I agree.
The other thing that I know at least 3 of us have seen, which is I think has been absolutely fantastic so far, is the Orville, the new season of the Orville.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been so good. I know Yoda, you said that last week's episode with the krill and everything you didn't rate because it was too political for you. See, I didn't see it like that, and I thought it was one of the best episodes I've ever seen of anything.
Look, the Orville is better than Strange New Worlds, hands down. Right. And the krill episode was just way too silly. And it didn't have, I mean, he was contradicting himself sometimes in the narrative structure. And it was all about, we don't like Trump or Republicans or something, or populists. And we want abortions. I'm like, he was just all over the place with this nonsense. And we don't like religious things. I don't know. It didn't make a lot of sense. The last one, I don't want to get too far deep into this, but if he's pro-trans, he made an anti-trans episode, which is really weird.
Yeah. Again, I don't quite know what the message was he was trying to get across.
Yeah.
I know the message I took out of it, but
I know that's the message. If you look at it with any logic, and again, we can do this on an unplugged episode or something, but he's very schizophrenic. I think he wants to do a message, but the message is wrong. So he ends up contradicting himself in bizarre ways. And that's what ends up happening with these episodes. And I'm like going, I think I know what he wants to say, but logically he understands logical narratives. And so those two come crashing together, and he ends up with this weird hodgepodge stew of a show that doesn't quite know what it's trying to say.
Yeah, like I say, I've been finding it fascinating, but I never read politics into anything, and stuff. That Big Short, didn't get it at all. No, not quite that bad. Right, let's talk about the second half of this year. Then.
Hold on, one more.
Oh, bloody hell! What?
For All Mankind.
What is it?
For All Mankind on Apple.
Oh,
this is the 3rd season. So it starts off with the space race where the Russians beat the Americans to the moon.
Is this a drama or is it a documentary?
No, it's a drama.
It's a drama. No, I mean seriously. Sometimes they do really good documentaries on this.
Yeah, no, it's but it's good. It's how the Americans are now trying to keep up with the Russians, and the Russians are always a little bit step. But it's how.
Is it better than? It's got to be better than The Right Stuff because they really screwed that up.
I saw a
dramatization or like an alternate history.
It's like an alternate history.
Okay,
but it's done. So the first season was 60s leading to 70s. 70s was second season was 70s leading into 80s, and now we're approaching the 90s now.
My favourite. I saw a meme about that, and it said first rocket in space was Russia. The first animal in space was Russia. The first man in space was in Russia. The first orbit around Earth was Russia. The first so-and-so was Russia. The first satellite was Russia. First person to get to the moon, America. We won the space race.
Well, it was to go to the moon, so
we did. We played catch. The whole purpose of the space race, and I know a lot about it, was to get to the moon. That was because they wanted to be the country that got to the moon first. It would be like laying claim to prime real estate. It's a mental thing for the world. All the other stuff is cool and everything, but it didn't mean anything until whoever landed on the moon was going to win. That's just the way it was. And
I'm going to say this controversial, but I'm going to say this. I still believe that the original first moon landing never happened. It was originally filmed by Stanley Kubrick, but he was such a perfectionist, he deemed that it was filmed on location.
He really landed on the moon to fake his moon landing movie.
Yeah.
I get. Yeah, you want to get my hackles up. The whole fake, we never landed on the moon stuff.
My dad died. My dad died believing that we never really landed on the moon.
That just drives me nuts. Anything about it, it's really so disrespectful to so many people.
The Shining was an apology by Kubrick. If you read it, that is a theory. That is a
theory. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we get Yoda off on one, let's talk about the second half of the year with bits and pieces that are coming up. So we've got, for example, next week, we're all looking forward to Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
No thanks.
I'm going to be streaming. I'm not going to watch that in the cinema.
I think it's more like I'm
dreading
a doctor's appointment that's coming. I feel like that.
I'd rather go to the dentist.
I'm just not going to watch it. I told you I'm done with Marvel stuff after.
Well, I mean, so one of us got to watch it and talk about it. Somebody's got to take one for the team.
Okay,
Make Iggy do it. He's the new guy.
Hold on, George is the one with all the Marvel shit.
My wife's going to drag me to it anyway, so I might as well.
Bullet Train looks quite decent.
Yeah, that actually kind of looks fun.
Could be good.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I dig when they're fighting, and then the stewardess comes in. They just stop, and he gets a bottle of water, and they kind of have that. Sure, we can't talk about this. Nope. He's like, all right, fine. Just chucks it right into his face. I love that kind of stuff. That whole tongue-in-cheek, we're not taking any of this shit seriously.
Yeah.
Nope by Jordan Peele.
Nope.
I'm kind of looking forward to it, but I don't think with us, the ending was utterly ludicrous. And people keep saying about what a great horror movie.
Let me spoil it for you now, George. It's going to be about how white people are bad.
You think?
Yeah.
I haven't read that in any of his stuff so far, Sean.
I just saved you
to be
7
fair, even
pounds
I've seen that.
I'm going to go and watch it, so I'll let you know.
I really misread Get Out. Wow.
Yeah.
Super Pets, which is where Dwayne Johnson plays the super dog or something or other. Prey, which is the new
Predator.
What's the word? Yeah, new Predator film.
Nope.
No.
Yeah, I'm a pass.
Oh no, this
I will watch it, but it'll be shit.
Oh. This is up and coming, but I have seen it. But the man from Toronto with Kevin Hart and Woody Harrelson turned it off. Couldn't get through it. It was
2 words
Kevin
there, George.
Hart.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. Yeah, the man is not funny at all.
No.
Never, not even by accident. Beast, I must admit, looks interesting. That's the one with Idris Elba, where he's basically fighting the lion.
Oh yeah, that
Savannah.
does look kind
I
of
don't-
interesting.
I don't like him because he's black.
I don't like him because he's a sellout. Because basically
No,
on the UK at the moment, all the adverts have literally got sort of like, do you want to make a nice sandwich? Idris Elba likes peanut butter and jam,
Yeah.
and it's just
He's trying really hard to get me to use booking.com. Yeah.
He's talking about buying one of our TV networks over here. Him and some consortium, Channel 4.
Well, actually, I read that.
Guys, we forgot to talk about the Ricky Gervais special too.
Oh yeah, he'll rape you.
I always like the joke about the no, can't do that one. Oh, the joke where he says no, can't do that one either.
Anyway, it was really funny. Let's move on.
The Invitation. I think I've seen the trailer for that. I think you do a thingy about it the other day on the trailers. I'm sure you was on there.
Did a horror movie? It sounds like a horror.
A young woman courted and swept off her feet, only to realise the Gothic conspiracy is afoot. No, I was going to say from what I've heard of it, it's got Natalie Emmanuel in it. Might be worth watching because she's all right. Pinocchio with Tom Hanks.
Oh, I can't wait to see that.
I cannot wait to see the fairy god.
I can't wait to see its box office returns and laugh and laugh.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be delicious.
Salem's Lot,
stink.
which could be good.
I'll watch that.
Could be good.
I never saw the original.
Yeah, the remake. The original was 1970s.
It was in the. Did they already remake it once?
I thought it was in the late 80s.
Probably.
Yeah, I was going to say no. Yeah, I think you were right. There was a remake, but this is a new one.
A new one.
It's a great story. Probably one of Stephen King's only really truly good stories. But you know how he is.
I like his early stuff. He's
I do too.
Dick in real life, but I like his.
Oh yeah, he's a shitbag. Yeah. I love the Dark Tower series.
You're right. 75.
Have you seen the posters? Have you seen the posters of Hocus Pocus 2? Because I feel really bad. I feel really bad for Jessica Parker because I don't think they put any makeup on her.
Yeah, they don't. That's what I was going to say. None of the women need makeup now.
I don't think I've seen the first one, and I have no interest in it. No. Halloween Ends. Bloody
hell. Man, are they still doing that?
Promise.
The 13th one.
I'll watch the second one.
Promise it ends. Do you promise?
No.
Yeah.
Black Adam. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I still want to see what they're going to do. I still want to see how they're going to try and get what's his name, T'Challa back.
No, they got Ryan Gosling playing Black Panther. Oh, the Barbie movie with Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie. Is that coming out this year?
We haven't put any of the photos of it. Nobody's wanted to touch it.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Thanks for putting that in my brain, you bastard.
Oh, no, the internet has made a million memes with it already, and you should see them.
This is why I stay off the internet.
You're on the internet right now.
Shut up.
The third installment of the Creed franchise, so that'll just be people boxing.
More Creed?
Yeah, third one. Avatar, The Way of Water. Oh, again.
Let's be honest.
See that. I don't care what anyone says.
I'm going to say we all got to admit that we're going to see that.
I'm not. That's going to be.
Yes, you are.
You
fucking liar.
I'll watch it streaming, but I'm not going to go to the cinema because if I give money to James Cameron, he's just going to. Or he's made more anyway, and
he's already made.
Yeah, he's made like 20.
Actually, if you give him enough money, then he goes away for like 13 years. So it's maybe not a bad trade-off.
Is it going to be 3D? Is it using the same 3D technology as the first one?
I don't think it's 3D.
That was like the only real draw of the first one.
Shazam, The Fury of the Gods.
I don't care. No.
Apparently.
I like Shazam. I got a soft spot in my heart, and I kind of want to see Black Adam from the trailer. It looked okay.
We know that you're going to go see any superhero stuff. You don't have to tell us that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't go in and watch the people getting raped with their own intestines all the time.
You can't see it, but Yoda is actually wearing a cape at the moment. He's just got it strategically tucked behind him.
I'm a hero in my own world.
He's got Superman underoos on.
It's kind of a shame that they've got
you know of.
They've got Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio coming up later in the year. And that I do fancy watching because I think that will be a much sort of more darker.
If you thought you were scarred by the donkeys in the Disney one, wait till Guillermo del Toro gets hold of this.
Yeah. There'll be a lot of kids like, but mommy, that's nothing like what I thought it was going to be.
What is Geppetto doing to the Blue Fairy? That's not right.
Why is this rated R? Did you all get this mixed up or something?
I remember in Mad Magazine there was a little cartoon of that, of how Geppetto carves out this little boy and he becomes real life. So then he starts carving out a woman with massive tits. Worth a try.
Be worth a try, yeah.
Apparently, Batgirl is coming out.
Oh boy,
Batgirl's coming out.
With
Jesus,
Leslie Grace.
That's not this year.
Well, it says 2021 here. I'm just going through a list of sort of. They said December
Because that's going to follow on from The Flash, which won't ever see the light of day. Because that's got Keaton in it.
Yeah. Peter Pan.
Have you heard? Are they reshooting him? Or what are they doing in that?
From what I've read, they are just going to release it. They're going to finish it and release it.
I bet they dump it on. I bet they dump it on streaming.
Stream at best. You ain't going to get audio. Yeah. Listen, we've got another 6 months of this fucking geezer. God knows what he's going to be getting up to between now and then. So there's no way that film ain't coming out of the cinema unless there's some massive redemption that he saves 15 children and 100 cats in a house fire.
It might, but they'll probably do like a "fuck you, it's January" movie instead of a big tent pole.
I don't know. I think they cut their losses and release it on stream because he's gone anyway. They've told him that he's out.
That's it. Yeah. They'll dump it on.
He's not going to go and promote it.
No,
they'll dump it on HBO Max or something.
Right, Miller, we've cut you out of the film. It's not coming out anymore. And just like fingers crossed, he doesn't do anything more. And then they're going to get it all ready. And release it now, quick, get it out. And then wouldn't it be wonderfully ironic if it ended up that Ezra Miller then got into a fight whilst watching The Flash in a local cinema somewhere
with a kid?
Yeah, he beats the shit out of a 12-year-old.
The odds are good that would happen.
Basically that's 2022. The miserable old curmudgeons from the last movie Outpost.
You've got Blonde coming out with Anna de Armas as Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, for some reason it's not on this list that I found. But it might be good.
That's got to be worth watching.
She is one of those people that it doesn't matter what she's in, you can just quite happily watch her.
She's gorgeous and everything, but I'm just like going, another Marilyn Monroe I'm just tired of all these boomer biopics, I'm just.
When are they going to? Yeah, but when are they going to gender and race swap her? Then I'm interested. All right.
Probably this week coming up.
Yeah.
Coming soon as Marilyn Monroe, Idris Elba.
Yeah, exactly. When that happens, then I'll.
And then you'll see Idris Elba in the dress blowing up, going, "Ooh!"
Yeah.
Get that out of your brain, internet.
I just think of the scene in The Producers where they're watching that Hitler at springtime, and all the audience just.
And then it turned out to be a massive fucking hit.
Yeah, because it all presses all the woke buttons. Hooray! Okie doke. Anything else we want to talk about?
Not really. There's a couple on that. I've done a little trailers article, Sean. I don't know if you've been about to see it, but there's a couple of films on there that you might be interested in. One called The Barbarian, and one called Gone in the Night.
Yeah, Barbarian.
Check it out, man.
What was the other one you say?
Gone in the Night with who is it? What's her name? Heather. Come on, the bird from Stranger Things.
Oh,
no, her name. She was in Heathers. What's that?
Winona Ryder.
She's in it, so that looks good. And one called Barbarian that looks good as well, which is the one of that Sasgard bloke who was Pennywise.
So basically, yeah, Sean, if you read the website that you write for, you'd have seen this.
I was sick. Leave me alone.
I'm sick.
He's had monkeypox. Leave him alone.
Come on, let's just stop dancing around. He's got AIDS.
AIDS. Everyone has AIDS.
I do a Rich Evans here. AIDS.
We always sink to this level. Isn't it wonderful?
It's wonderful. It's fantastic.
But no, is there anything else we wanted to mention? Is there anything TV shows that I've missed or anything else like that?
I can't
I
think.
don't think so, mate.
I've been
It's
watching
just
like,
too much, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
there's
There
so
is a
many.
lot.
I still got Better Call Saul. I got to get caught up with. I mean, it's
Yeah.
every time I
Give
turn
it up
around,
on
there's
that.
something I got to figure out, and then Stranger Things comes out. It's like, oh, only 2 episodes, 7 hours. Jesus.
Yeah.
That last
I must-
episode was 2 hours and 25 minutes.
I must
Was it?
admit, actually, that
Mhm.
the last 2 episodes were pretty good, but they could have quite easily have broken them up at least into say.
Yeah,
like
I don't know why they
segments or
didn't
something.
just do like a 10 episode season or something,
Yeah.
10 or 12. I
If you
kind
can't
of
tell us-
at first I thought I would like that, and I guess I didn't mind it, but then I was like, why not just extend the season to more episodes instead of having
Yeah.
big? Because they all dump them all at once. So what does it matter? You know?
Well,
Yeah,
then I
it-
guess what does it matter? You're going to be watching the same amount of minutes no matter what.
Yeah.
So why put
Because
in
it's
those
nice
breaks?
to have a pee break. I urinated on the sofa twice.
Let me discuss let me discuss this newfangled invention they have called the pause button.
Never heard of it.
What?
Yeah,
What?
it's amazing.
Sounds
Nope, not heard
gay.
of that one.
Sounds pretty gay to me.
Yeah, it sounds like something I don't think I.
So
want
what
to
did you?
use.
But
Yeah.
did
It
you,
is gay, but it works. Try it.
What did you think of this season of it though? Would you? I mean, it's going downhill. I think.
It's I no season the both of season 4's parts 1 and 2 have been all right, apart from, like I say, the whole woke thing that has been sort of injected in there, that she's got to be a lesbian and he's got to be gay. I mean, apart from that, it has been pretty good, but it's just been far too long. I think there's lots they could have cut out and still kept the story quite tight.
Who's the lesbian?
Uma Thurman's daughter, Robin,
the girl that worked in the
one that looks
video
The
like
ice
it.
cream place.
yeah with
The one that looks like it.
yeah, and then Wheel is
Oh,
obviously
yeah.
Wheel is gay now, even though no season before has hinted at it in any way at all. Now he's and in love with Mike, and Mike doesn't know it.
I do love the
Who's
bit that
Mike?
there was quite a.
Mike
there was
is
quite,
11.
one who loves 11.
boyfriend.
Is this all
Wolfgang
like
Park.
inferred, or do
No.
they actually come out and say it?
Oh,
No, it's all
she comes out and say it in the last season, but it's so obvious in this season about Wheel being gay. It's
there's a great moment where basically when Mike and 11 are sort of like having time together,
and he's like,
yeah, and
I
Will keeps
remember
looking over
that.
to him.
Yeah.
No, but Will keeps looking over to him, and his brother's going, "Listen, man, I love you no matter what.
yeah.
But you are looking at 11, right? just yeah, 11.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Come
That's
on,
fine.
man.
No.
No, this is the
Oh,
mid '80s. You can't be doing that shit.
Yeah,
It is so-
that didn't happen in the 80s. He would have got a punch in the face. There's no doubt about that.
Those boys would not be friends if it turned out one of them was gay.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
And the girl would never have admitted to anybody that she was a lesbian in the 80s. No. I mean, that would be like saying you've got, monkeypox to people you're standing within close proximity to now.
Yeah, I mean, it
It
isn't.
really is,
It wasn't
it-
as bad as say like the '50s, but it isn't the mid 2000s.
I don't know what it was like in the Midwest, but here that would have been the same as saying like,
It would.
it's
It would have
children.
been. You wouldn't have come out. But like, I remember my junior high. There was this guy who played the flute and had no idea whether he was a guy or a gal.
Oh.
Like,
No,
no,
He was a great flautist, but he was also very effeminate. And it was like, and his name was Aaron, and I never saw the spelling. So I had no. It was like It's Pat, the old SNL
Yeah.
skit, but you had no idea. So it wasn't like it didn't exist. It was just like. Yeah, it wasn't exactly just out there and accepted. You didn't have gay pride parades. Let's put it that
Yeah.
way. Kink pride
we
parades.
just had a great one in London.
No. No group of little kids in the mid 80s from a small town in Indiana would be like, oh, it's okay that, we're cool with this.
No. Now we have drag queen score. It's got to be someplace in between all this, punching people in the face versus drag queen story outer. Can we get somewhere in between, and then everybody be happy? No one's happy.
Yeah, it's pretty blatant though. They've made Will, very gay. I mean, even his mannerisms and stuff in it. Is the actor in real life gay, or has he said he is? Because if he's not,
I hope so. Because if he's not, I'm offended. Hanks.
If he's not, he's
Tom
dead.
Hanks played one, and I was outraged.
We've already found out you can't have people that are not what they say they are playing somebody different.
Millie Bobby Brown, if she does not have psychic powers, I am going to burn
That's
down
right.
all of it.
If we don't start getting some real Vulcans on Star Trek, I swear to God.
No, but for real, is he or not? Because he does such an effective job of even like his body language. Just
let's have a look.
Oh man,
I'm gonna default to my usual, which is I don't give a shit.
Well, no, I'm just curious.
I really don't care what they're fucking saying. I don't want to hear about. I'm tired of hearing about everybody's sexual preferences. How about you shut the hell up about your damn sexual preferences?
I want to know.
Next week's live stream. We can talk about our sexual preferences.
I need to know. I need to know if he's really gay or not, so I know whether to hate him in real life or not. So, Eggy,
is it Will?
Well, I don't think that really tells me anything, Sean, because if he is gay, you're going to hate him because you just are homophobic. And if he isn't gay, you're going to hate him because he's inauthentic and woke. Right. So that doesn't really help me.
Well, one edges the other one out a little bit. And I got to know which one, I got to know which one to go on Twitter and complain about.
I got to get my hateful tweets, accurate.
If they unban,
Very
if
important.
they finally unban me.
Oh, I'm so embarrassed. I don't think he's got that wrong.
I don't think he is.
No, I don't think he is either.
He does a thing.
He does. If he's not, he's like his mannerism. I mean, watch it and you'll see it's pretty impressive that you're like even before he things.
You sound quite the expert in this, Sean.
Well,
seems abnormally fixated on it.
I've got very attuned gaydar.
You've apparently been working on it too. This explains the whole monkeypox thing.
Well,
I'll say that.
You just said it yourself. I got
AIDS.
No, I don't think he's. I think he's. I was about to say I think he's normal, but no, he's.
Disavow.
I did type in Google, is Noah Schnapp a shirt lifter? And it said no.
He just has AIDS, not Gades.
Yeah.
Google and see if he was molested as a child. That probably.
Let's have a look.
I was so glad that's research. I was so glad that's research.
Sean. He was working in Hollywood as a child. Of course he was molested.
Yeah. He
was on Stranger Things when he was like 11, Of course he was.
He was handpicked by Epstein. He
That's
was
right.
By Epstein.
That whole cast was raped, I'm pretty sure, right on the set.
Man, is it just me or is that Finn Wolfhard the ugliest looking son of a bitch ever? Yeah. Like that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Puberty hit him badly.
Poor kid.
Steve's hair, chef's kiss.
Actually funny, somebody posted a meme and said about the kid who plays Will, and it's got him crying at one point in the episode, and it's got a picture of him saying, Will, when he learns he's got to have this haircut for the next 5th season.
Yeah. Oh God, I don't know what they were thinking on that.
Is that his real hair though? Sure, that's a wig.
No, that's his real hair. I'm sure they cut it to.
I hope it's his real hair, because if it's his fake hair, then I'm offended.
Yeah,
that's right. Got to be authentically horrible page boy cut. That's what's got to be.
Oh, terror! Yeah. Man,
all right,
it was.
It's been 2 hours. Can we wrap this? I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay, Yoda, do you want to wrap up for us?
I so much want to wrap up. Thank you very much for watching. This has been lastmovieoutpost.com. Outpost Frequencies, that's what we call this show. We have it every Sunday at noon Central Time, 6 o'clock UK time. You can reach us at lastmovieoutpost.com. I am at Drunken Yoda 1. He is at Not George Lucas 1, and we are at Movie Outpost on Twitter. You can hit us at any one of those 3, and if you're really lucky, you might answer. You can also reach us.
You're never on there.
Yeah, well, it's a cesspool. And, you like just rolling in the mud, so go for it.
He's got to have his arch nemesis Star Wars fan that likes everything that he hates.
Yeah.
The only reason he goes on there just to argue with that guy.
You can reach us contact us at lastmovieoutpost.com if you have any news or insider information you want to send us, and we will do a story on it. And of course, you can get all the latest news, movie reviews, and streaming news at lastmovieoutpost.com. We are the cool news now. Okay, George, any final words?
No.
Okay, we'll count that one as one. Eggy, how about you?
Nope.
All right. And Sean, good luck with your AIDS.
If you're Ezra Miller and you're watching this, we are big fans, and please contact us to tell us about whatever you plan on doing next.
We are 24-hour Ezra watch.
We will give you your chance to tell your side of the story, which we're all very sure explains everything completely.
I would almost pay money to have that interview.
It would be fantastic. It would be so great.
All right. Well, thank you everybody very much for watching, and we will see you.
Sorry.
Sean, you done? You coughed up an adenoid there.
We ain't going to see Sean next week.
Goodbye, cruel world.
There will be at least 3 of us back next week. We're going to hope for 4, but it's 50-50 at this point. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. See you all on the next